Fiverr is a popular site for freelancers to offer their services for $5, and this is how they derive their name. From the day they were launched until today, there are over 3 million services available on their website by now. Fiverr is a potential platform to earn massive incomes as well as a competitive platform. How can you possibly bring your profile up to the homepage and generate more traffic among the 3 million services? In this video, I'm going to show you how to do this. Utilizing the social platform is definitely a great way to generate traffic to your profile. Social media advertising is always the go-to platform to promote your gigs. You can promote your gigs on social media channels such as Facebook and Twitter. You can create your own Facebook page so that whenever you update a gig on Fiverr, you can post an ad on your page. Another advantage to creating your own Facebook page is that you could possibly create your own community with targeted audiences. Every single visitor that visits your page could be your potential customer and eventually your long-term client. At the same time, you can join the groups or forums that are related to Fiverr. Once you're connected to the group, you can post ads to promote your gigs. Beyond Facebook and Twitter, where you can post your ads to promote your gigs, you can also create Pinterest pins, Instagram photos, and even YouTube videos. These are great platforms that you can fully utilize to promote your gigs. The next method to generate traffic is by accumulating positive reviews from your buyers. The more positive reviews you get from them, the more likely you will be visited by other buyers. Visitors are now comparing the star ratings of sellers before they buy your service. Your star rating is an essential factor that influences visitor decisions to purchase from you or not. Put yourself in the shoes of buyers. Would you do the same before you contact the sellers? People are wary of paying someone for a gig because they are taking the risk of wasting money on a terrible service. So, getting positive feedback and maintaining 4 to 5 star ratings is an essential factor that helps in attracting more traffic to your gig page. You won't be able to buy your way through to get positive feedback. The only way to combat in this reputation building process is to earn by the service that you are going to offer. Focus on satisfying customers, where you can deliver good quality of work that is worth way more than what they've paid, and target to win their heart at the same time. Over time, you'll accumulate a critical mass of positive reviews. Optimize your gig description to target your niche. First and foremost, you must pick a targeted niche and understand them. Do not aim for general service. Focus and be the best in the targeted niche that you've picked. Optimizing your gig description is essential, as this is the only way people can get to know about the kinds of services you are offering them. To pick a targeted niche, do some research on the hot keywords that visitors will usually search for on Fiverr. Without keywords, your gig will not show up for relevant searches by the visitors. Other than optimizing the text in your headline, use graphical elements in your gig description as well. Visual cues always create a larger impact than text. Hence, you can use graphical designs or even videos to introduce your gig. Take note, your video must always be congruent to what you're selling. Finally, the last method that you can use is to create your own advert campaigns. This is different from creating your own Facebook page or community in Twitter, as advert campaigns attract serious buyers. When you run advert campaigns on social media, you are directing paid traffic to your page. Paid traffic is normally more targeted than organic traffic. The platform where you can run advert campaigns are Facebook and YouTube. These would be the largest and best platforms to run your campaign. Compared to text advertising, video advertisement is more compelling, especially if your offer is graphic and video related. You can create a showcase on your work in video form and upload the video on YouTube to promote your gig. Besides running advert campaigns on the social media platforms, utilize your own website as well. This is especially useful for someone who is already in the online business with a mailing list, whereby you can start an email marketing campaign to mail out your offers to your list. The subscribers in your list already trust you, so you don't need to break that hurdle. If you don't have a mailing list yet, you should start building one. If you do not own a website, you can do it through Fiverr. Just ask for an opt-in when users make a purchase on your service. Do not hesitate to do so, as growing your own list is definitely a must in online businesses. With a list in hand, you can always mail out your offers. Increasing traffic to your gig page will not be a problem. There are over 3 million gigs competing for attention on Fiverr, so it is not easy to stand out on the results page. The only way to get more exposure on Fiverr is to get featured on its homepage. Like I said, it's not easy to get your gig landing on the homepage because there are way too many competitors on Fiverr all around the world. In this video, I'm going to tell you how to get your gig page to the homepage. By this, you can double the traffic to your gig page. Just by increasing the traffic, chances to start a conversation will be higher. Getting featured by Fiverr is indeed exciting for the sellers, but Fiverr never publishes any article on how to get picked by them. Most of the sellers who get picked may be wondering how they managed to get there as well. Sellers are unable to buy their way through to the featured page. The reason to be featured by Fiverr remains unknown, but I believe there are formulas and criterion to be decided as to who gets on the homepage and who gets a featured listing. When your gig gets picked to be featured, your gig will be highlighted throughout Fiverr. This would be a great chance to gain exposure, and you will get more traffic to your gig page. So without delay, let's move on to the criterion that you will need to fulfill. First and foremost, you can try offering unique gigs. Just like I said before, there are over 3 million gigs listed on Fiverr. Fiverr needs to showcase services that people can find on their site. So, if you are offering the same services like everyone else, why should they pick your service? Make your offer the unique one to be picked by the editor because Fiverr's homepage emphasizes importance on first impression. Providing unique services with only $5 is their trademark. To get picked to be on the homepage, you will need to offer something different. It also needs to appeal to mass segments of visitors. Fiverr will pick unique offers to show their visitors what they have. If you are offering a one-of-a-kind gig that no one else has yet to offer, chances to get picked are higher. The next factor will be on the value of your gig. Fiverr picks services that have high value in return. You may be wondering, how can there be high value in return if all services are worth only $5? This means that a high-value gig should be marketed to be worth more than just $5. Give an impression that your service is worth more than $5, and yet you are offering it for just $5. Offer something that people will be surprised to get for that amount. This is the ultimate purpose of offering high-value gigs. When people know that the return on investment is going to be higher, your gig will become the next high-converting offer. This would be a guaranteed ticket to turn your offer into an irresistible deal. Getting high-converting gigs to be featured on the homepage is going to be one of the factors that Fiverr takes into account. Fiverr keeps track of the conversion rate of each gig in their site, not only on the traffic to your gig page, but also the visitors who end up actually buying your service. It can be concluded that the higher your volume of sales, the higher chance your gig will be featured. Fiverr does not simply pick random gigs to be shown on the first page. They want to showcase those with high-quality service to the visitors. This is obviously one of the main factors that Fiverr would hold onto because they won't make money until someone buys something. So the first page and the featured list can be said to be their source of income. There is a higher possibility that people will buy from the featured gigs on the first page. This would be a similar factor to the conversion rate factor. A higher average order value makes your gig more likely to land on the homepage. Like I said, Fiverr doesn't make any money until someone buys something. This is how they earn their portion by sharing the revenue with their sellers. They are highly dependent on the gig multiples and gig extras to increase the average of your order value. When your average order hits at least $10 for each gig, you are more likely to be chosen. Remember that Fiverr always shares a fixed percentage of revenue with the sellers. The more you earn, the more they will get as well. So, the homepage is a place to boost their earnings. In conclusion, your average order value for each gig has to be high. Last but not least, getting excellent feedback and reviews from customers and achieving high star ratings is one of the factors. This is the final criteria that Fiverr takes into account, the star ratings of your profile. You will probably need to hit positive reviews close to 100% in order to be featured. Having a high percentage of positive feedback is the key. When the percentage of positive feedback from your customers is high, it contributes to your star ratings. When your star rating is high, your converting rate will increase as well as the average of order value. The factors are all related to each other, and this is how Fiverr will evaluate your profile. There are definitely other factors that Fiverr will take into account. However, these are the 5 main factors that contribute the most into it. If you want to get picked and featured on the home page of Fiverr, work on these factors first. When you switch your role from a seller to a broker on Fiverr, you could free up your time because you can now outsource the job to freelancers. But this doesn't mean that you can stop working. Instead, fully utilize your time to generate traffic to your profile. No matter how cool or fabulous your gig is, you are not going to generate any sales if your profile is not visible to your potential clients. Thus, generating traffic to the profile becomes as important as delivering quality work. This is a time-consuming task which requires a lot of effort. Hence, now that you have freed up your time by outsourcing the jobs to freelancers, you can focus on generating traffic to your profile. You have to get the word out about your gig and give them a reason to visit your profile. The first way of doing it is by spreading the news on social media platforms. As you already know, social media platforms can be a powerful tool nowadays. The news can be spread on the media like a contagious virus within hours. Start with creating your own fan page and promote your gigs on social media platforms. This would be the fastest and cheapest way. The cost for doing this can be said to be near to zero, as you do not need to pay anything for people to see it. Other than just promoting your gig through your fan page, join groups or forums that are related to Fiverr. Search for groups in Facebook. There are plenty of groups available. However, always look for active ones. If they are a closed group, request to join them. Once you have gotten the approval, start talking to the people there. Introduce yourself and start a conversation with the people there. Other than making the announcement of your gig over there, you can research on how other sellers promote their gig, especially the top-rated sellers in the group. Besides looking for opportunities on Facebook, you can post your status on Pinterest, Instagram, and YouTube as well. Though social media platforms can be a really powerful tool to promote your gigs and increase the traffic to your profile, one thing that you can't forget is the star ratings on Fiverr. Even though people may click on your link and go to your profile, if your star rating is not as good as other sellers, you may lose them forever. Thus, accumulating a massive number of positive feedback to maintain your rating is essential. It is recommended that you keep your profile rating as 4 or above out of the 5. Visitors evaluate sellers based on the star rating nowadays. They compare the star rating of sellers and pick the one with a higher rating. When your profile has a higher star rating and more positive feedback than negative feedback, visitors are more likely to choose you over the others. Another great way to generate traffic to your profile is by focusing your profile to a targeted niche. Unlike aiming for the general market, you are now focusing on just one market. Instead of getting everyone to see your profile, you need to be picky on your clients now. To do this, you will need to do a bit of optimization on your gig description. For instance, instead of using general keywords such as a logo and video, change it to a business logo or speed drawing video. When you use a gig description like this, you are at the same time narrowing down the market. If this sounds bad, it's actually not. When you're focusing on a targeted niche, visitors are more likely to get your profile in the search results when they are looking for specific services on Fiverr. Do some research on the hot keywords that visitors will usually search for on Fiverr, and then optimize your gig description with those keywords. This way, when visitors search for specific services, chances that your gig page appears in the homepage are higher. Aim for a focused niche and get quality clients on Fiverr. Last but not least, you can conduct your own advert campaigns on social media platforms such as Facebook and YouTube. If you own a Facebook fan page, you can run an advert campaign with it. Once you've created the campaign and set up the targeted group which you wish to show your ad, you could possibly get connected to the untapped users that you never knew would be interested in your service. Beyond Facebook, Twitter would be the largest social media platform people always hang out on. You can post your status and even create your own hashtag that will link to any of your social media profiles. If you have a video to promote your gig, you can upload it to YouTube and run an ad campaign for it. You may think running advert campaigns on Facebook and YouTube may incur huge costs, but the good news is you run everything under your control. You can set your own budget on how much you would spend for the campaign. I will not talk about how to set up your advert campaigns here because it's a totally different ballgame. Moving on, if you have your own website or even your own mailing list, do not hesitate to mail out your gig offer to them. According to research, 44% of email recipients make at least one purchase based on a promotional email. From this statistic, you can see that people actually open and make a purchase from promotional emails. If you already have a mailing list, do not hesitate to send them your offer. If you do not have one, it's time to start building one. You leave a lot of money behind without building up your own mailing list. You can send them the promotional emails whenever you have a new gig or new product to share with them.